Hey everyone, and welcome back to CJRaceCars YouTube channel. And today we're going to be working on getting the turbos placed on Mullet and getting them mounted. And I know by talking about this in other videos and posting it on Facebook that people are pretty particular on where they want the turbos on Mullet. And before we show you where they're at, let me tell you something. We're mounting those turbos where they're going to make the car work the best. We're not mounting them for looks. We're not mounting them for any other reason other than we think it's going to be the best place that they'll work for a lot of different reasons. We've reached out to Jamie Miller, who is a great tuner. He's one of the ones that's helped on Eagle, and he has a ton of time in doing this stuff with different setups, different engine locations, different combos, and I trust him a lot. So we talked to him about going under the hood, down low, or up high, kind of similar to where they were before, and we moved them around to see where we have room because, believe it or not, there's not a ton of room in Mullet to put them down low, and there's not a ton of room to put them up front down low, and there's not a ton of room to put them up high and still have an alternator. So a lot of different things went into this. This is not just let's throw these here and this is what works the easiest. This is where I think they need to be to make Mullet run fives. Hopefully you guys are happy with it. Something else that a lot of people commented on the last video was Mullet's wheels. It had some chrome front wheels and some polished rear wheels. Honestly, it was just a mixed match set of wheels we had laying around that were close to what Mullet was going to run that we used for mock-up. These are actually Jamie Hancock's rear wheels, and they're on a 275. Mullet is going to run a 275, but it's going to start out running a 315. So we did get Mullet's real rear wheels and tires mounted. Say that one twice fast. And what we need to do now is we need to pull this wheel out. We need to put Mullet's rear wheels in. It's actual wheels that it's going to use. And we need to get a measurement for Marty. Yeah. Because Marty's already building the rear end for the big tires. Actually, I think it should be here. Might be here tomorrow or Thursday. So it's going to be a Marty Mayer 11-inch rear, just like we put in Eagle. But we're going to have times two, because we're going to have one for big tires, one for small tires. Big tire one's on the way. We're going to yank these out, put the real rear wheels in, and get a measurement for the radial rear end. And what's crazy is this looks killer, like hiding this wheel. That looks good. But on the 315, you're going to have more tire on the bottom. It's going to hide even more of the rear wheel. Rear wheel. Anyways. It's gonna look the actual rear wheel. It's gonna hide a lot of the wheels. So let's get this out.
All right.
I'll hand you the other one.
Okay.
While you're up there, the two-person operation. We'll put it in and then we'll measure.
All right.
All right. Jump up there and we'll. I got a bad back. Taylor's better jumping than I am. I do agree. I like the polished wheels, but
I don't.
We know that you don't like the polished?
No, I don't have the
I like
discipline.
the polished wheels.
I don't have the discipline to keep them clean.
Well, that's true, but I like the polished wheels. But with Cletus's color choice usually being gray, I think you can't beat the black, to be honest. If you went with a darker color car, I would definitely say we got to get them to go with polished. But the black wheels look killer with the gray. All right, here we go. Again, look at this. Let me roll this over here so you can see how much bigger. You wouldn't think a 275 and 315 is that much different, but it's a pretty decent size tire difference. The 315, as you guys have seen with Eagle, we made very few passes. The car went straight down. Struggled a little bit more with the 275. The 315 is a much better tire and much less finicky. So we want to be able to run a 315 in any class. We can run a 315 in, and only the 275 when we have to run a 275. So let's get this thing thrown up in there, see what it looks like. Got it? Oh gosh, that looks good. That looks really good. It literally hides like 40% of the wheel is gone behind the quarter panel. Or the bedside or whatever it is. And Billet Specialties sent us the solid centers, which we now have an Eagle also, because this thing is going to make a lot of power. And the solid center is the way to go. The rear wheels are the same for the big tires. It looks good. Jump down here and look at it. That does look good. It's hard to tell on camera, I feel like, too, because you don't get the full look of it. And we're looking straight at it. When this thing's on the ground, it's going to look like it's covering 60% instead of 40% because it's going to be way below eye level. But that looks good.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
That looks good.
And the black looks killer. Like, you can't beat the black with that gray.
No.
No matter what. Like, that's a good combination. Even Eagle with the black wheels looks really good. And Billet Specialties, I mean, that's a killer looking wheel too. So, hey everyone, let's talk about something wild. Did you know data brokers are out there collecting and selling your personal info? Your name, your address, your phone number, even info about your family is up for grabs online. Anyone can buy this data, and that's a real problem. It puts you at risk for things like identity theft, phishing scams, or even harassment. It's scary, right? I personally trust Delete Me to keep my info private, and that's why I'm excited they're sponsoring today's video. So what's Delete Me? It's a hands-free subscription service that removes your data from hundreds of data broker sites. I started using it, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. After signing up, I got my privacy report in just 7 days, and it showed all the sites where my info was found and how much was removed. We're talking names, addresses, even old emails I forgot about. Delete Me's experts handle everything, monitoring sites year-round, and even letting me make custom removal requests. Check this out. They've already removed dozens of my data points from sketchy sites. Why do I choose Delete Me? It's not just about one-time removal. They keep scanning and deleting my info as data brokers try to repopulate it. Plus, their focus on privacy is legit. They're all about keeping your data secure, and they don't outsource the work. It's simple, effective, and gives me peace of mind. And here's the best part. You can protect your whole family with their family plan, because when someone buys your data, they usually get info about your relatives too. Ready to take control of your privacy? Head to joindeleteme.com/CJ20 and use promo code CJ20 at checkout for 20% off any consumer plan. That's joindeleteme.com/CJ20, code CJ20. Trust me, it's worth it to keep your info off these shady sites. Check out my link in the description below to start protecting your data today. Thanks Delete Me for sponsoring today's video. We'll put it exactly where we need it, in and out on both sides. We'll measure to the back of the wheel, get those measurements from Marty, and we'll have a radial rear end coming. All right, we got Mullet's turbos, just how they came off of Mullet 2.0. Getting ready to mock them up on Mullet 3.0. And this is what everybody's been waiting for, Taylor. They want to see if they're going to be out the hood, under the hood, behind the hood, in the trunk, or if it's just going to be NA. Maybe it won't even get turbos. Maybe we'll just leave the throttle body open.
We're not going fast.
Without the turbos?
Yeah.
All right, so we got to run the turbos. All right, so the only question is, where are we going to put the turbos? And honestly, we don't even know yet. I mean, we have a pretty good idea. We're going to have to put them on our little turbo mount fixture and see where they fit, because there's not a whole lot of room now that we moved everything around.
Nope.
They might go up top. What do you think if we stick them out the hood? You think we should stick them out the hood?
I don't know.
The only thing about this is it wouldn't hurt if they went out the hood, because we need the weight up high anyways.
From the beginning, you said they're not going out the hood.
I know I did. But this would be the only thing people wouldn't be upset if I said they weren't going to do and they did do. I think people would forgive me if I said they weren't going out the hood and then they ended up going out the hood.
Maybe.
All right, we made an extension for our turbo fixture before our turbo fixture never needed to be this high, because we never tried to put a turbo out the hood before. So there's a first time for everything. We're going to try it behind the tire, and we're going to try it up here above the hood and see which one we like better. I'm going to be honest, right now it's looking like we might stick these things out the hood, Taylor.
Oh, no, it's going to be, well, it'll sort of be in line with the tire, and I don't think we have any other options.
It's honestly going to be pretty similar to where it was. We're probably going to be somewhere in here.
I don't think we have any other options.
No, I think that's it. There's not a whole lot of room back here. And again, we lean on Jamie Miller a little bit. He's got a lot more tuning with turbo cars than we do. And we've talked about the struggle a bunch of times with the motor being so far forward in Mullet. That's why we raised the engine a little higher than normal. So if we can put the turbos up higher, it'll actually be to our benefit. And I think everybody on here is going to like that the turbos are out the hood if we do go out the hood, Taylor.
Probably.
You know what I mean? So we cut Mullet up. We cut it right in half. People weren't happy. But I think if we can leave the turbos out the hood, at least people will be happy about that maybe. It's going to be heavy, Taylor. That might. Oh boy. We got turbos out the hood, Taylor. It just looks weird. I'm not used to this at all.
I don't know that we have enough stand.
Is it trying to flip over? Let go of it. It'll be all right. Let go of it. It shouldn't go nowhere, right? It just feels like it's going to go somewhere.
Definitely leaning forwards.
Is it?
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll go anywhere.
No, it's not going to go anywhere, but
I like that. I'm not going to lie. And that keeps the exhaust high enough over the valve cover. We might want to move it out a little bit, maybe, like this way. And we could go down some. We could tweak it from there, but you're probably going to have to cut this. I honestly never thought this day would come. Turbo's out the hood on one of our cars. But if we do it, this car is a car we definitely want to do it on. All right, So we'll cut this a little bit. Probably turn this turbo a little bit. I think we're going to have to be somewhere in here because the collector is going to have to kind of come this way and come out here and go around here, which is pretty similar to how they had it before. Again, they didn't have this type of chassis, so there's a little bit more room in that area.
Personally, for me, I don't like it, but I don't matter. Because what I mean by that is, everything else is gonna fit so much better with them up there.
Yeah.
That it's practical, it's good. Plus, 99.9% of all the people that watch these videos are gonna go yes through the hood, which is fine.
Danny, I think this is our one give back to the Mullet fans. We cut Mullet in half. You know, we cut Mullet in half and people were upset. So if we could at least put the turbos back out the hood, I think we'll be back on 80% of people's good side. You know what, Taylor? Don't even worry about trying it back there, I don't think. Let's just make it work up here and we'll call it a day. I'm going to be honest. I haven't even told Cletus about this. I hope he's all right with it. We're just going to go with it. I think he's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. We'll cut this down a little shorter because I would like to get it. What we probably should do is get a good measurement on the hood because we don't want them like, you know what I mean? We just kind of want them poking.
This is going to rotate, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to run your plumbing in the front then?
Right. Yes, we'll go in the front. But here it'll be quick. It'll just be a...
Right. That's probably going to get us out of a mess back there.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about maybe flipping the intake and doing a T in the back and notching the window tubing and everything else, which we could have done that. Yeah. But I really think this has a lot of benefits. Other than I really like a clean, factory-looking car with no holes in the hood, but I think for this car...
Well, there's a lot of turbo cars out there that have turbos where you have duct work. I mean, you have two ducts cut into the hood in the front where the air...
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So this is it. This is the car we're going to do it.
We'll put the CJRC touch to it.
Yeah, it'll still look good.
With them through the hood. You can put them through the hood, or you can put them through the hood the way we do.
Yeah.
And ours will be great.
That's 2.5 inches lower than it was?
2.5 inches lower than it was, and it's out this way.
I like that better. That's basically would be splitting the hood somewhere in the middle.
Ish.
It's a compromise. Before it was down here.
Yeah, closer to level to the bottom of the intake.
I think here puts us better, and now that we're out, gives us more room for the exhaust.
Yeah.
The support won't be nearly as long, which I like that. Header won't be as long. I think I like that there. Let's put the hood on.
We don't have a hood.
Well, let's put the front end on. We can put a straight edge across the front end, and then that'll give us a... We don't have a hood? We have a hood. Somewhere. That's all right. We don't need a hood.
I thought it came without a hood.
Maybe it did. That's possible.
I think they
Let's
dropped
put the
it
front
off
end on. We'll put the straight edge across, and we'll see what it looks like. I mean, it's still... Can we put a shim? Can we shim that where it's...
Yeah, because that's
a little straighter.
The post is at 2, and then the turbo is at 2, so it's leaning 4. So we can shim it.
I got you.
Yeah,
if we can shim it, I'd like the turbo to be 0, ideally, just so it's not leaning forward.
Yeah, I mean, you might be just the way that it sits right now. You're just under.
Yeah.
Half.
Yeah. And then we point it up, it'll probably be just a little over half, which
Ish.
will still look good. So you'll see most of the turbo, like the top half or more of the turbo, which I think looks good. And honestly, the way that is, if we go to 0, back here you might not see any of the exhaust. You'll just see kind of the casing, and then hopefully the exhaust will just be totally underneath. I would like that. What happens is the way the hood was before, so much of the turbo was sticking out, and those hoods are kind of already a little flimsy. It was really like...
Air was getting inside.
Yeah, but by the time you notch it, there's just none of the hood left, and there wasn't a lot of like foam core in that hood, and it just got kind of floppy, so we don't want that either. All right, let's put that at 0.
All right.
See what it looks like, and I'm pretty sure, like, I think we're good there. We could work on just mounting the turbo there, flip it to the other side, mount it there, and then something else we're gonna do a little differently is we'll make the header real short with a V-band, then it'll have like a 3 or 3.5 inch tube from the collector to the turbo instead of the header being real long. It'll make the header a little easier to build, and then for removal, it'll make it where we can just pull that little piece out. They could probably pull the whole motor with the headers attached to it. So
should be able to.
Should make that a little bit easier. We'll see when we get closer to that area, but let's move that up. and then go from there. All right, so basically this makes a little bit more sense now. What we can do with the header is we'll come out with these front tubes, will kind of swing back and then into a collector. The end of the collector will be somewhere here. We'll V-band it, and then we'll just run that 3.5-inch piece from there right through there into that. So this will be one short section, and the header will be pretty short. I think that's the best way to do it. It'll be a little easier to make. The old headers were all 4, went forward, which really made a header a little more difficult to build. It works either way, honestly. Either way it'll work the same. I think we'll build them a little shorter, make that in-between tube. And I would really like to try to keep this. We'll put the front end back on and check it. But it'd be nice to not have any of the exhaust sticking through the hood. Like kind of have the hood in the notch around this and then that under the hood, which I think we're pretty close.
It can go lower.
I just don't want a huge hole out of the hood because the more we cut out of the hood, the less structure that hood has.
Yeah.
So. We can't go too much lower. We would go a little lower, but not too much lower. Also, the lower we go, the more this brace is going to be effective. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a lot of leverage, though.
But you could put 2 legs on that one.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Yeah, we could do it a few different ways. That might not be a bad idea.
If we're only using 2 instead of the third, also.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to use this just because
So high up.
it's so high up. I don't want tubes sticking through the hood and everything else. So we won't use that one.
Put the cup here,
Yeah.
and then come off of it this way, but then also this way.
Oh yeah, very good idea.
You do 2. Yeah.
Very good idea.
2 legs there. That'll kind of give it
Yeah.
support both ways instead of it trying to hang off the front or the
You gotta
back.
do something to keep it from being in line. If they're sort of in line, it's going to want to do this.
Well, we'll also
If they're
have.
going like one this way and one that way. That kind of.
Well, we'll also put one on the other side, probably to the motor plate.
Yes. Oh,
just so we
you
have-
Gotta have that.
So yeah, so then we'll have 2 points here and 1 point on the other side. Be fine. All right, let's put the front end on one more time and see what it looks like.
You'll be close.
It's crazy how low the front of the car is gonna be.
I think
3.25 of an inch off the ground, or 3.5 inches off the ground in the front. Again, adjustable a little bit with the strut cups, but that's pretty close. And I think we're gonna be really close to having that exhaust.
a little bit of it may stick up, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be.
In the you'll still see a lot of turbo.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll still see at least half or more of the front of the turbo. All right, so what we came up with, 2 tabs, 1/2-inch tube. This all thread will get changed later. Obviously, we're not going to leave alternator. We'll have a motor bolt in there, but we're going to have 2 legs coming off of this. One down to here, one down to here. Danny's about to do that now. And that'll give us support front to back and up and down because it's not too far over from that cup. And then the cup on the inside, Danny's working on a tube there. And I think that'll be plenty. The header obviously holds some of the weight. We just don't want to totally rely on the header because it gets hot. Things will start cracking. It starts bouncing around, everything else. So. Ooh, I like that, Danny.
Yeah, it's almost there. I don't want it this high up. I want it down a little bit toward the middle of the cup. Yeah, I could leave it there.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt either way, but yeah, toward the
Yeah,
middle
just
of the
gotta
cup.
shorten it a little bit and it'll drop it down.
I like it. So basically, we're going to do the same thing on the other side?
It'll look, well, over here, we may have to have the bend here and go down straight on this one. This is a longer distance than it is here. If you look at it from the side, it looks even, but that doesn't work, and
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
work good. And this one's the easy one.
All right, we got the turbo mounts on this side welded up for the most part. The one on the other side welded up for the most part. Now all we got to do is take the V-band clamp off of our fixture, and hopefully the turbo doesn't move too much. We'll see. If we get it off and it doesn't move too much, we're going to move it to the other side and set up the other turbo, and then Daniel get the other turbo mount done. I don't think it moved at all, Danny.
It didn't move a bit.
Oh, that's solid. That's solid.
got a little bit of give to it. But
That's solid. Once it's totally welded out and you put the, yeah, it's
The
solid.
only way you stop that would be to take a tube and run it like this.
Oh,
over to here,
gosh.
and that'll stop
Hey,
it.
when you get here in the morning, go ahead and work on that, all right?
I'll work on that.
Yeah. I want to make sure it has all the bends you just showed me, though.
Out like this and loop around and come down and turn into that. Yeah, that'll work.
Don't leave any of those bends out.